A game show on local cable television? Join us for the next 30 minutes as we learn which of these two teams knows more about their city, and all of us explore the arts, history, people, and places of Long Beach, a city alive. Here's the host of City Alive, Mark Sudak.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. Welcome back to another round of City Alive, a chance to learn a little bit more about our hometown and the people that make it click. And we have two more teams ready to play the game with us on this edition of our program. Friendly rivals, as is usually the case with our panelists. We're happy to welcome representatives of the teaching staff, the staff in general, and of the student body as well, from California State University at Long Beach and from Long Beach City College. Welcome, everybody. As I have a habit of saying, we like to encourage you to play along with us. It's a simple game to play, and teams, I'm just going to explain the rules as we go along. The game is really that simple to play. Let's just dive right into our first story, which has to do with the architecture of Long Beach. You know, there are many, many diverse examples of architecture, so much to see in our town, that you might have missed one of the odder representations of that discipline, and I'm speaking of the famed Skinny House. Do you know it? Dave Kelly visited that place recently, and he's prepared this look-see at the Skinny House for us all. David.
The Long Beach skyline includes a number of interesting buildings. The most prominent record of the past in any city is architecture. Let's take a closer look at some of the eye-catching architecture in Long Beach. This old Victorian house in the Drake Park area was completed in 1906. It was built for Stephen and Josephine Green of Seattle. It's a huge 2.5-story structure, including 5 bedrooms among the total of 18 rooms. The woman who lives there now, Dorothy Bembridge, lived there in her youth. Her family purchased the home in 1918. If you journey down 7th Street, you'll see this interesting structure, which looks like a castle from the Middle Ages. It was built around 60 years ago. Today, the turret has been converted into an artist's personal studio. If we go downtown, we'll see the Rowan Building with the Art Deco facade. It's the current home of Rothbard Jewelry. The building was completed in 1930 and housed dentist's offices on the top floor and an expensive shoe store on the bottom. It was once remarked that you could get your teeth fixed for less than it costs to get a new pair of shoes. One of the more significant architectural structures in Long Beach is this house behind me, the Skinny House. It's a 10-foot wide house that was built during the Great Depression. When you go inside, it really doesn't seem that skinny. At least the cat doesn't complain. The builder utilized every inch of the 10 feet of width and made a comfortable kitchen. Upstairs, the master bedroom is quite cozy. The Skinny House was built by Newton Rummond in 1932. Some say it was built as a dare. Others say the land was acquired as payment of a poker debt. Any way you slice it, Rummond couldn't afford a regular-sized lot and opted for this one, which was created by a real estate oversight. The current owners, Ed and Tia Rail, are fixing the house up and adding improvements. They keep the curious onlooker problem in perspective.
We'll be here eating dinner and watching TV or whatever, and we look out there, and there they are standing out the gate just staring in at us, and we'll wave at them sometimes. And that usually causes them to feel a little self-conscious and to move on. But it's a common occurrence. You can't fault people for wanting to stop and look in. It's sort of a natural curiosity, although sometimes it is a little bit of an invasion on our privacy.
They plan to put a jacuzzi at the top. Getting up there is the tricky part. Well, this is definitely the steepest stairway I've ever been in or on in a house, sort of like a ship's stairway. I managed to avoid hitting my head on that, and here we are. The Skinny House was once listed in Ripley's Believe It or Not as the skinniest house in America. For City Alive, I'm Dave Kelly.
All right, teams, here's the way City Alive plays. We have a series of multiple choice questions for you dealing with the general topic at hand. We ask you to have your hands ready on the buttons. If you think you know the answer, even if I haven't finished the question, as soon as you're ready to respond, to press the button. Get the answer correct, you pick up 10 points. An incorrect answer gives the opposition a chance to scoop up the 10 points, so be certain when you press the button. All right, here is our first multiple choice question. Stand by. The Skinny House is bordered closely on the south side by an Italian restaurant. What is the name of this restaurant on 7th Street? Is it Mama Lacona's? CSULB.
Gondola.
Correct, for 10 points. Good. I didn't think anyone would get that, but you did. You scooped up 10 points. City College, chance to catch up right now. Next two questions are about other examples of fine old architecture here in Long Beach. Which downtown Long Beach building is unique because of its four-sided terracotta facade up at the top? Is it the Farmers and Merchants Bank building? Is it the Breakers Hotel? Or is it the Juergens Trust building? CSULB.
Juergens Trust building.
Right, for 10 more points. Outstanding. 20 points for you, City College. You're not on the board yet. Here's a chance to change that situation. The Villa Riviera, that high-rise apartment hotel at Alamitos and Ocean Boulevard, was built in the late 1920s. It has a distinctive V-shaped appearance, as you know. We would like to know what two words best describe the architectural styling of this classic structure. Would you say Greco-Roman? Would you say Victorian Norman? Or Gothic Tudor? CSULB.
Gothic Tudor.
10 more points are yours for 30 points. As you know, the way the buttons work, the first person to answer correctly locks out the opposition, so you've got to be a split second ahead. I know you were trying. Did you know the answer?
He knew it.
He knew. Heinz knew it. Okay, well, I tell you what, we have 30 points for CSULB. City College, you're not on the map yet, but you'll have an opportunity to change that. We'll have an opportunity to meet personally our team members and play more City Alive after we take a minute or so to show you this. Don't go away.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Bases loaded. The runners should get an extra jump. They go. The pitch. Swinging a drive deep to right. This ball may go. Back goes Hall. It is gone. A grand slam home run for Leifer, and the Dirtbags lead 4-0.
We're back to round 2 of City Alive. Today, California State University at Long Beach is taking on our friends from Long Beach City College, and we have representatives of the student body, the staff, and the teaching body there as well. Let's start off by meeting our friends from Cal State Long Beach, and our team captain first. Good afternoon or evening. How are you?
Fine, Mark. My name is Karen Furukawa, and I'm a staff member at Cal State Long Beach. I work in the Office of Staff Personnel in the Division of Faculty and Staff Relations. To my immediate left is Bob Wells, and to my far left is Fritz Bergman.
Welcome to you all. We're glad to have you here. You're playing a good game so far. Let's see if that continues. Now let's go up to the top level here and meet our City College representatives. Good evening or afternoon again.
Thank you. I'm Heinz Fischer. I'm the Dean of Extended Instruction for Long Beach City College. And to my left, we have Bobby Dollins, who is Senior Secretary to Occupational Preparation, and she's also one of our hourly instructors. And Ted Saunders, a student, active in a student body and president of the ASB Cabinet.
Great. We have great representatives from both teams. Glad to have you here with us. Ready for round 2? Ready for round 2? Let's go. It's time for this second feature. It offers you, I think, a fascinating look at Long Beach history. And this story represents a milestone for women as well, as Dave Kelly explains.
During World War II, McDonnell Douglas led the way in hiring women on the production lines. At the height of the war, 60% of the workers involved in direct manufacturing were women. Many of them came from clerical jobs or from traditional nursing or domestic situations. They were lured to the aircraft plants by both a sense of patriotism and the opportunity to earn higher pay. It was a difficult transition, working under pressure with long hours and few days off. But somehow they managed, and they did it efficiently. Betty Murphy was one of those whose life was forever changed by the experience.
I had never even had a hammer in my hand in my life. I'd never been, had any need to
to be mechanically, use a type of mechanics. And so it wasn't that darned easy to start with, you know, especially when you go up there and you've got this big hunk of metal and you know, you're told to drill a hole. This is a motor, and this is a chuck, and this is a drill, and just chuck it up, you know, and drill a hole, and then we're going to put a rivet in there, and then we're going to shoot it, and somebody's going to buck it on the other side. And I thought, well, that's not too bad. That looks pretty simple. But I found out it wasn't that simple. That if you had to learn to drill a straight hole, if you didn't, you'd have elongated holes, and the rivet wouldn't fit, and you'd damage the skin.
What was it like that first day when you walked into the plant in December of 1942? What were some of your feelings?
The lights in the building are this horrible yellow-hued type thing that made your skin look purple and lipstick look dark red. It was just awful. But the magnitude of the aircraft and responsibility and everything else, and the fact that we were in the midst of this terrible war, was just really overwhelming.
Eddie worked on the B-17, the Flying Fortress. It was America's largest bomber. Did you have a sense of pride when you saw that B-17 roll off the line?
It was a beautiful ship, and it was, and the bomb bay doors, it was just a big bomb bay area there. It was just absolutely beautiful. We had a great sense of pride, and it, you know, it just gives you an eerie feeling to think you're working all around that area where the bombs are being loaded even. And you can just visualize what would happen, you know, when it was flying over the various countries that it was fly over to fight our battles.
Eddie stayed on at McDonnell Douglas after the war and became an organizer for union activities. Many of the women left, though, as soon as the war was over. Some of them got married and went back to the home. Others were pressured to give up their seniority by soldiers returning home looking for work. Probably the most important aspect of the war effort here was that it proved to the world that American women could handle highly sophisticated technical and mechanical job responsibilities. For City Alive, I'm Dave Kelly.
All right, teams, CSULB has 30 points. City College, here's your chance to catch up and tie the game. Our first question in this category, how fast were the big flying fortresses, the B-17 bombers, rolling off the line during that period of peak production? Was it 1 every other day, 2 every day, or 4 planes every day? City College.
2 every day.
That is an incorrect answer. The remaining options are 4 every day or 1 every other day, CSULB.
Okay. 4 every day?
4 every day is correct for 10 points. That's exactly right. They finished a bomber every shift around the clock. Incredible. Here's our next question for you in this category. What was the most notable nickname given to the women working in heavy industry during World War II? Yes, City College.
Rosie the Riveter.
Bingo for 10 points. And you're on the board. Do you remember that period?
Oh, no, my mother told me about it.
Naturally. One more question in this category. Let's get right to the question. What was the typical starting salary for women at Douglas back in 1942? Was it 60 cents an hour? Was it City College?
Do you get to finish the question?
Not at this point.
Oh, I thought you were going to finish.
I have to have an answer.
60 cents an hour. That's the only question.
Boy, are you lucky, because you're right. You got 10 more points. So we have a 40-20 game with Cal State Long Beach, I should say, still out in front. But you're on the board and you're on a roll now. Let's see what happens as we continue into our next round of questions. And it starts with one more story about a Long Beach motorcycle shop that has a musical secret amidst its Hondas and its Harleys. Dave Kelly will explain it to us.
This is the Joe Coons Motorcycle Shop on East Anaheim here in Long Beach. For a number of years, they've been providing an interesting combination of motorcycles and music. You heard right, this is a motorcycle shop. Then what is that organ doing here? It was a lifelong project for Joe Coons, who is now deceased. The fellow at the console is Dick Starr, one of the organists who holds recitals in the back room of this shop. The concerts are usually held on Saturday nights and have drawn a full house, as many as 300 people. This organ was originally a silent movie theatrical organ, complete with sound effects. Dick gave me a demonstration.
The pictures were cued with these sounds. The first one is a boat whistle. And here's a fire gong. Here's a siren. And here's a bird whistle. And here's the train whistle.
Dick remembers the good old days when pipe organs like this were state-of-the-art.
When I was a teenager, when I used to go to the movies and hear these organs being played, of course, naturally I'd watch the film, but I was always thrilled by the sound that I heard. And when I hear them now, there is a feeling of nostalgia and a feeling of appreciation of something very special.
This is a powerful organ with 32 ranks and over 3,000 pipes. When it's cranked up, you can bet the neighborhood knows about it. There's a kind of charm derived from mixing mechanics with music.
You have a feeling of great power, and it's a wonderful feeling to have great power at your fingertips and to express yourself accordingly.
Spud Coons, Joe's wife, never thought the organ project would get this far.
Well, he always said he wanted a pipe organ, and finally his dream came true. And where else could we put it but in a motorcycle shop, because our home isn't large enough for an organ, so this was an ideal spot. But we never thought that it was going to mushroom like it did.
Judging from some of the pictures, Joe seemed to be particularly popular with the lady organists.
Yes, he was. He was popular with the ladies.
Did that ever concern you?
Not at all, no.
Oh yes, let's not forget this little gem.
I feel honored to be sitting here where some of the best organists in the country have played. I don't know how to play the organ, but I thought I would end this story on a nice note anyway. So here goes. I hope I get this right. Now I know how the Phantom of the Opera must have felt. For City Alive, I'm Dave Kelly.
Oh, that's great, Dave. Thank you very much for that story. All right, we have a 40-20 game. Cal State Long Beach out in front. Here we go with our next series of questions. Hands on buttons. The little gem organ that Dave referred to is the type of organ that you find at carnivals and in circuses. Which generic name represents that sort of organ? CSULB.
Calliope.
Right, for 10 points. All right, 50-20 in favor of Cal State University. Here is our next question. What powers the main portion of the organ? Is it steam pressure, is it air pressure, or is it tiny electrically driven actuators? City College.
Air pressure.
Right, for 10 points. Generated by a sizable pump that they have located in the back of their shop. All right, one more question for you in this category. There is another, even more powerful organ in Long Beach. It has 72 ranks and 4,000 pipes. Where would you find it? The Terrace Theater, the church, CSULB.
The First Congregational Church.
Right, for 10 points. All right, so our score at the end of 2 rounds of play, CSULB 60, City College 30. We're going to take a break, and then we will come right back. And well, it's 3 rounds of play, right? Something like that? I don't know where we are. Let's take a break, and when we come back, I will know where we are. Stay with us for more City Alive.
Hi, I'm Bob Maxson, host of Beach View. I invite you to take a real look at our community and the world through the eyes of the experts at California State University, Long Beach. You'll find our show to be both current and interesting. Please join us on Channel 3.
There's a lot of talk about college athletes. At Long Beach State, it's all good. Learn more about one of the nation's top-ranked programs in competitive sports on the next Beach View.
Okay, we're into round 4 of our game. Anybody could be a winner. Right now, Cal State University is out in front of City College, 60-30. But as has happened on this show before, anything can happen. Let's get into our fourth story tonight. They are among the most imposing works of man, and Long Beach is bordered by some impressive ones. Of what do I speak? Dave Kelly has the answer.
I'm standing at the toll gate at the east end of the Vincent Thomas Bridge. The Long Beach skyline includes two prominent bridges. This one was completed in 1963. It took over 3 years to construct the Vincent Thomas Bridge at a cost of $21 million. It was the first major suspension span bridge in Southern California. At the time it was built, it was the third largest suspension bridge in the state. It was named after State Assemblyman Vincent Thomas of San Pedro. Thomas was the man most credited for getting the project underway. It came about because of a need to transport more people and equipment to the busy and growing harbor area. The bridge replaced a ferry system which had become obsolete. Traffic volume now averages 28 to 30,000 vehicles per day. Toll Captain Charles Boyd says traffic has always been greater than anticipated.
We have exceeded projection from the very beginning, way over projection. I think in the beginning when the bridge was first opened, the projection was 2,000. And from the very first day, we collected or we handled maybe 8,000 to 9,000 cars, and from then on we have exceeded those figures and exceeded all figures that we did not anticipate, and we expect even more traffic, just depending on the growth of the harbor.
Because of safety concerns with head-on collisions, a median was constructed to separate the flow of traffic.
Prior to the median barrier, we had several fatalities on the bridge. And there was a growing concern about the safety factors. And when the median was installed, this prevented all, I say all, it didn't prevent all accidents, but it did prevent fatalities. And prior to that, we had maybe as many as 6 fatalities on the bridge. Now that the median's installed, we have not had one single fatality on the bridge in reference to traffic crossing over and meeting oncoming traffic.
Caltrans is responsible for maintenance and collecting tolls. There are 12 full-time toll operators who collect the one-way fee at the east end. The bridge is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Commuters who pass through daily can buy ticket books at a 40% discount. The other prominent bridge in Long Beach is the Gerald Desmond Memorial Bridge, built in 1969. It was named after Gerald Desmond, a former Long Beach city councilman and city attorney. Desmond was largely responsible for bringing in Tidelands oil money. The Tidelands revenues help finance construction. The Port of Long Beach is currently responsible for maintenance. The Gerald Desmond Bridge is a steel truss bridge that stands 150 feet high. By comparison, the Vincent Thomas stands 185 feet above water and 365 feet at the top of the main towers. The Vincent Thomas Bridge is also popular in Hollywood. In addition to commercials, at least 6 production companies have been out here in the last year, shooting either for television or films. Don't be surprised if you see the bridge as a backdrop in one of your favorite programs. For City Alive, I'm Dave Kelly.
You know, the pieces that Dave produces for the program run 2, 3, 4 minutes long, and they run along so quickly, one might think they go together just as quickly as the viewing time suggests, but that's not true. It's a lot of research and fine work and wonderful editing, and I wanted you to have Dave come out and say hello, and I wanted to acknowledge him. This is Dave Kelly, who does our stories. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
You do a super job.
Thank you very much.
And we're glad to have those pieces. They're great. Thank you. I want to get right to this bonus round because we want to find out who our winner is going to be. It's an anyone could win situation right now, but you want to be the first with correct answers. Remember, this is our bonus round. The value of each question jumps to 30 points apiece. Hands on buttons. Get ready. Let's see who wins the game that is now scored at 60 points for Cal State Long Beach, 30 points for Long Beach City College. The biggest problem in designing the Vincent Thomas Bridge was making it high enough for even the tallest vessels to pass underneath. There was one final alternative which was very seriously considered. Which of the following was it? An underwater tube, a drawbridge, or a floating bridge interlink? City College.
Underwater tube.
Underwater tube, right, for 30 points. So, what you just did, Todd, was tie up the game at 60 points apiece. Let's move right along to our next question. The governor of California was present at the groundbreaking ceremony for the Vincent Thomas Bridge in 1960. Was that Governor Earl Warren, CSULB?
Pat Brown.
Pat Brown, right, for 30 points. City College, get this right, you're still in the game. Cal State Long Beach, answer correctly, the game is yours. How long is the Vincent Thomas Bridge? 1/2 mile, just over a mile, or City College?
Just over a mile.
Right, for 30 points. And you tied our game up. We're going into a tiebreaker. And this question will go to you, City College. I will ask another multiple choice question. Give us the correct answer, you win the game. An incorrect answer awards the game to Cal State Long Beach. The Breakers was one of a string of grand hotels on the Long Beach shoreline. The first such hotel was the Long Beach Hotel or the Bayview Hotel?
The Bayview.
Bayview Hotel is an incorrect answer. Cal State Long Beach wins our game tonight. It was the Long Beach Hotel. Whoa, what a great game you gave us. And we have some wonderful prizes for all of you. Let me tell our winners what they have won. And I think you're going to really like this. I don't know where you would like to go, but it's time to start thinking about that, because you and someone that you like to be with can go anywhere that Jet America flies. That's because that's your City Alive prize. Jet America, Long Beach's own airline, will fly each of you to any one of their destinations across the nation, and then, of course, a round trip back to Long Beach. And you will enjoy convenient service from our own Long Beach Airport, as well as Great America's terrific service on the trip. And when you get wherever you're going, don't forget to write us. And we also want to help our runner-ups with their own travel plans, perhaps not as extravagantly, but to some degree. So each of you will be getting a great travel bag, courtesy of the Port of Long Beach, the busiest on the West Coast, the Port of Long Beach, where the world comes together. We want to thank you all for giving us a tight, close game. We had a good time with you. And with you. Hope you'll join us when we do City Alive next time around. I'm Mark Sudak. Goodbye, everybody.